For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin,
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do
it.
I'll fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
Ha ha ha! Welcome in. No one to blame. First episode of March. March Madness is upon us, Kev. I am fired up. Missed last week's show. Gonna bring the energy tonight, dude. I got a bunch of pent up college basketball energy. Been losing my bets, dude. I'm pissed off. March is here. It's time to redeem ourselves. What's going on, dude?
Good, man. Glad to have you back. I know you got some hot takes ready to spew them. So
Bubble watch.
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Before we get going on NCAA basketball, the tournament, the bubble watch, last four buys, last four in, first four out, next four out. Kev, the conference tournaments need to be played first. And they started up, man. Conference tournaments actually started yesterday. ASUN tournament. If everyone's not familiar with the ASUN conference, we've got, I think it's 12 or 13 that we're going to cover this week. That will be starting either today or this week before next week's show. We're going to get into all of that. Before though, Kev, we got a little off-season NFL news to cover. Hit us with the breaking news, Kev. Yep.
Yeah, a couple topics here, NFL wise. Actually, Jesse, take it over a minute. I got to take something real quick.
I got you. Deebo Samuel. How about Deebo Samuel getting traded? That's
Can you take it over real quick?
Yeah, I'm good. Deebo Samuel getting traded is way hotter topic than Matt Stafford. I don't think anyone's really worried about Matt Stafford right now. Matt Stafford staying with the Rams. Matt Stafford was not going to the Giants, right? Matt Stafford wasn't going anywhere else. He wasn't going to the Saints. If you're Matt Stafford, you want a Super Bowl, you've already got buku bucks. You've got all this money. Where are you going? Why would you, if it's not the Rams, where else would you go? I heard talks of Minnesota. Minnesota was an option. The Vikings, like, I don't know. Maybe he's, began his career with Detroit. Now all of a sudden he's going to go and play for the Vikings to finish it. Maybe. No, he's staying a Ram. And the Rams, dude, Rams have a good young core. We saw them pop back towards the end of the season there. Their young defense, talking Rams defense right now, Kev. Fisk and the other dude that he played with, is it Verse? Fisk and Verse, the guys that played for Florida State, is that right?
Yep.
They got Puka Nacua, right? And obviously they got a good running back in Kyron. They need to, the offensive line needs to get a little bit better, but I like that Rams team. And of course, Stafford's going to stay with the Rams. That made the most sense. I was just telling everyone, Kev, Stafford leaving the Rams to go play for a loser team like the Giants or the Saints or even the Vikings. I was saying the Vikings would have been fun because of all the weapons that they have, but
Made no sense.
Started his career with Detroit. So yeah, it would make absolutely no sense at all. Bond in the comments. Fat Stafford is back. That's classic. Fat. Anyone who likes to watch Jim Rome knows the classic. I'm not going to sit here and listen to the clones talk about how fat Matt Stafford is. I won't have it, clones. I won't have it on my show. We will not sit here and besmirch Matt Stafford just because he's gained a little weight and you guys call him fat. I won't do it, clones. Yeah. Anyways, we're also going... Kev, you have a little technical difficulties. You good? Give me a thumbs up if you're not drowning. Kev's having a little technical difficulties. He'll be right back. We also, the big news here, Deebo Samuel. So, and being a Buffalo Bills fan, all over social media, all over X, man, Bills, all we gave up is a fifth. Deebo Samuel. No. Deebo Samuel is not the answer, Bills fans. He is not the answer. Aging wide receiver. So Washington is taking on all $17 million that he's owed of his contract, all of it. So, good on the Niners clearing that up. So yeah, the Niners even getting compensation after clearing out $17 million off their roster. Like, good on them, dude. And they know that all the injury problems this guy's had. Of course they want to get rid of him. Why would you want to pay a Band-Aid $17 million? That's like the most expensive clipboard holder in the league, eh? So, yeah. Now, Deebo on the Commanders, I honestly think it's a win-win. They've got a little bit of money to spend. Obviously, Jaden, they're not paying for a quarterback right now. Jaden Daniels being, he's going into his second year, so they can afford to take a risk like this. And so I think it's great. Pair him up with McLaurin. We saw Dynamite Brown kind of turn it up a little bit towards the end. They got the two good running backs. They got Olamide Zaccheaus. If you listen to No One to Blame during the season, you know that we were on the Zaccheaus, baby. We were on the Zaccheaus left, right, and center. But Washington's their offense is going to be dynamic now, and maybe the fact that they don't have to, Deebo won't be leaned on like he was in San Fran, especially with those San Fran injuries, CMC going down, Ayuk going down. He doesn't have to come in and be a focal point in this offense. He could be that gadget kind of player. Curtis Samuel, right? A better Curtis Samuel that they just had, but they did not have him under Cliff Kingsbury. So I'm pretty confident that Cliff will be able to do something here with Deebo and everyone. I think that's good for the Commanders. If I'm a Commanders fan today and I'm seeing that news, I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Take that chance, pay that $17 million. I think Kev is getting ready to come back. Kev, are you there, buddy? There you go. You back? We ain't got you there.
All right.
There you go. There you go. Good?
Oh, let's see if we can get going here.
Technical
difficulties. Man,
difficulties.
Wi-Fi over here, Ashley, not good right now. So let's roll.
No one to blame,
right,
dude. No one to blame. Kev, what is I broke down the fat Stafford. I broke down the Deebo Samuel. What is your take on the Deebo Samuel? Now, you didn't even get to hear mine, so this is nice and raw. Let's hear it.
Deebo is, man, he's so banged up. His style of play, He's kind of seems washed up a little bit for his age, a little early, but his style is tough for guys to hang around, man. Maybe it's a good deal for Washington. They're trying to take a chance. They got the young QB. Don't mind taking the money because they got a decent amount of cap space, but I'm not crazy about it. San Francisco, man, between Ayuk contract issues last year, Deebo not happy. They got some other players they're going to have to let go. They can't get under contract, but I guess
Maybe
it's kind of a
anymore.
good move for Washington. Yeah, take a shot on a
$17 million.
Nice little gadget guy to go with Scary Terry. I don't hate it.
So everybody listening, watching, you could tell Kevin and I do a podcast together. Pretty much my exact same take, Kev. I thought that it was a win-win for everybody. Good on the Niners to get an aging wide receiver, gadget player off the roster. Good on Washington while Jaden Daniels is cheap to go ahead and try something that might be a little pricey that may not work out. Why not, dude? I mean, they just outkicked their coverage completely last year.
Yep.
You got to do everything you can to get right back to that position, right? And it's going to be the most difficult thing in the world for them. I mean, they have their defense isn't that good, in my opinion. I think Dan Quinn coached. I think Dan Quinn coached that defense right up, to be honest with you. So they're going to need to get better on defense. Dude, Commanders, man, that they're going to be Commanders, Eagles, and I'm telling you right now, did you see how jealous Dak Prescott was after watching the Eagles win that Super Bowl? Did you see those interviews?
Oh
my gosh. He's basically saying that we're up. It's our turn. We're next. Like, dude, are you?
That's their problem. That's their problem. Is like Jerry has them guys thinking like they're like they're like it's their turn. No, dude, you have to earn that. You have to like nothing. It's not given to them just because he thinks he's due, dude. That roster. So they lost. Zach Martin retired.
Yep.
This is back-to-back years. They lost Zach Martin, their best interior offensive lineman, Hall of Famer.
One of the best.
Tyron Smith, the left tackle, left last year. That O-line is in shambles. CeeDee Lamb's the only weapon, maybe Ferguson, but no, that team is not ready to roll.
I think we're just partial to Ferguson because we like him in fantasy. I think that's really it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
I think Ferguson seems to play better when Dak's not in. Cooper Rush giving him the ball. I mean, they're going to be drafting a running back high. If you guys don't take Genty, maybe Dallas will trade with you guys to go pick up Genty, and then Genty's not. I don't think Genty's going to do shit at the next level, to be honest with you, but we'll see.
Depending on what team he goes on. Just like Saquon. It's like Saquon for the Giants was just, you put him on the Eagles behind a good O-line.
Was he
a beast?
Yeah, though, because Saquon was like a generational running back coming out of college. Genty, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not quite that. No, he's not.
One of the best colleges, biggest colleges, Penn State.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's not that.
I don't think so. I mean,
no.
Not a lot of people get to watch him play unless you're a D-gen and you stay up late and you got money on Boise State and the Smurf turf, which,
Oh, yeah.
Which we do constantly, but I don't know, man. I mean, looking back on Saquon and the Eagles, dude, I mean, he ran for 1,300 yards his rookie season.
Oh, for the Giants, yeah, he had them early good seasons. Then he got hurt. They had nobody around him after that, and it was kind of O-line was terrible.
Wow. If you look at his numbers, dude, he averaged almost 6 yards a carry this year. Unreal. Saquon is a freak, dude. Freak athlete. We played the clip in the middle of the season when he's jumping over that guy backwards in the middle of the play. Like, what? Yeah. Anyways, I was arguing with an Eagles fan on Twitter that he'd rather have Jalen Hurts than Josh Allen. And I'm like, dude, if you put Josh Allen on the Eagles instead of Jalen Hurts, I mean, they might never lose a Super Bowl ever again.
I'll take that trade.
Yeah, get the F out of here with that. If they won the Super Bowl, though, I'd be saying the same thing. Like, I'm sure. Who did you guys win the Super Bowl with?
Who are you talking about?
the Raiders. Who the Raiders? Didn't the Raiders win with the bad quarterback?
They lost with Rich Gannon.
Yeah.
They lost to
Okay,
Tampa.
Oh, you know who I'm thinking of, dude? It's not. It's Baltimore. And is it? Oh my God.
Brad Johnson.
No.
Kyle Bowler.
Dilfer. Is it Dilfer?
Oh, Dilfer. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Dilfer. Yeah.
Dude, if
I named every other bad quarterback to play on the Ravens.
Did you ever seen that 30 for 30? The ESPN with the Ravens and like Saragusa
and that squad,
yeah, dude,
that defense was unreal.
It was so awesome, man. So that's a really good one. R.I.P. Goose. Yeah, man. So we talked about Stafford. We talked about Deebo. You had another.
Higgins. T. Higgins franchised back-to-back years. Man, Cincinnati, they're gonna screw this up. Now they can still, I think, get a deal done with him, a long-term deal, but
I don't know,
man.
Dude.
They got to pay Jamar next year. He's up. He's going to be the top-paid wide receiver in football.
They can't afford both. They can't afford both.
Well, they need to get one done now because next year the other one's going to be more expensive. So it's just going to go up. So they should have had Higgins before last year, and think about the price they would have got before last season. Yeah. Now they're going 2 years further. The price is just going up every year. So they've botched that. They've already botched it. So they're not going to get out of that. They'll go back to being the Bungles here again in a couple of years. So
they're like the Oakland Athletics, and I'm going to call them the Oakland Athletic, man. The A's. They're so cheap. Like in the NFL, obviously, you have to spend some money, but. Dude, I mean, I don't know. It's just open your pocketbook, dude. Pay your good players and figure it out from there, man.
Never done it.
Now, who's that defensive lineman on their team?
Well, Trey Hendrickson was the guy who's not going to be. Well, there's Trey Hendrickson, and then who's the other guy? I can't think of his name. But
Trey Hendrickson's the one that I want.
Oh, you might be.
He would look good in red, white, and blue.
You're not going to pay him.
No, I don't think we'll be able to get Myles Garrett. I just don't. That's just not in the Bills' DNA.
They did say. I did read where they did put in an offer. I thought.
Read that first on Do Champions, Kev, all over Do Champions. Make sure you follow Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter. Do Champions. We've been talking about that a lot. I don't know. I don't see it happen. I would really love for us just to get Max Crosby,
No. You can have Myles Garrett. You can have Myles Garrett.
The Raiders would never trade Max Crosby with this new ownership
regime. I hope you're right.
There's no way. There's no way, dude. You guys would Khalil Mack 2.0, like no way. We just watched how the ripple effect of that played out, right?
Yeah.
You guys made the playoffs with Derek Carr a little bit, but can you imagine if you had Khalil Mack a little bit longer?
Yeah, the number one D end that year. Yeah.
Listen, as Bills fans, we've lived through this, dude. We've had Doug Whaley, who's the absolute worst GM in the history of GM. So we've lived through it. I get it. I think you guys are in a much better shape now. Anything else? Football? I think T. Higgins. I think it's good for Cincy that they franchise tagged him. It's good for T. Higgins. If I'm Cincy, I'm just blinders on. Don't worry about 2027 season. Worry about this, or I should say 26 season. Get this 25 season going. Figure it out from there. They better go all in. That's all I could say, because they're in trouble, dude. You could have the best quarterback in the world in Jamar Chase, and we watched it happen this year. How many points do they give up each game?
Yeah, you can't rely on just drafting well every year. The percentages are not with you. You've got to spend to keep your guys. You've got to spend a little bit to get some veteran free agents on your roster, and you have to draft well to make it work. So
yep. Yep. A la Buffalo Bills, dude. People were saying we were going to miss the playoffs, and how'd that work out? Anyways, we still lost. We're still losers, no matter what. There's only one winner every year. Never us. Always the bridesmaids, the Buffalo bridesmaids. All right, let's talk about something more exciting. It's off season in the NFL. I don't need to get all bummed because the Bills lost. Kev, it's conference tournament time in the NCAA. We are going to be talking about conferences that many people have never heard of. We're going to be talking about teams that are favored to win each one of these conferences. Some have started, some are playing right now. The ASUN League. Ironically enough, the ASUN League they started yesterday. Lipscomb favorite to win the ASUN. I think they were 19.5-point favorites tonight. And if I saw correctly, they were up by 20 something at halftime. So Lipscomb, there's a site, Kev, that we use. Where is it? I don't have it in front of me right now. Anyways, it basically factors in. It doesn't just factor in the teams playing each other, but it factors in where these teams should be seated against each other in their conference tournaments, and their computer projections basically spit out a percentage for them to win, which I think awesome tool. You got to be careful betting on these conference tournaments, especially these smaller ones. They're very top heavy, and you're going to pay a lot of juice. So if you could parlay a couple of them, great. I don't even know that I don't even know if I'd bother getting into it. I'd maybe just try and find some advantages on the games themselves. Maybe not the futures in these small conferences, but
yeah.
The ASUN, Kev, it started yesterday. Lipscomb was a 65% chance to win this tournament. North Alabama was the second highest with a 20% chance to win. Did you have any thoughts on the ASUN or maybe what Lipscomb could do in the tournament if they win?
Looking at your percentages here, it takes in more than just the rankings right now on the conference, because right now North Alabama leads the ASUN and Lipscomb is actually second. But what I'm looking at for these tournaments, and probably more so the teams that are going to get in the NCAA tournament, is, we talked about it off air a little bit. If you've got a player that is leading your conference, in a big margin in scoring or rebounding, like Lipscomb's got a guy, Jacob O, I'll call him. I can't even pronounce his last name. He's averaging 20.3 points per game, leading the conference. So you got a guy who can get a bucket. You got a guard that can take over a game. That I like them kind of teams in any kind of conference play, NCAA tournament play, that kind of thing.
He's got 18 tonight, along with 6 boards, and they're up 18 points now with 7 minutes, 47 seconds left in the second quarter. They're playing Central Arkansas. Like I said, it was almost a 20-point spread. Another dude on their team, though, has 25 points tonight. He's 7 for 11 from 3-pointers. He's also got 7 boards, dude. They have another guy that's got 16 and 8, so they're completely outclassing Central Arkansas right now. And yes, we're talking about Central Arkansas Lipscomb, dude. We're getting in the weeds tonight, okay? If you have no interest in this, if you're not sure, I mean, listen, Kevin and I aren't, I'm not going to be able to tell you the best players on these teams, but I will tell you when I find an advantage on these teams playing each other, I bet them, right? So we've been playing these teams the whole year. And Kev, I actually have my updated record here. Tailed off the last week or so. Just got a little busy traveling for work and whatnot. And, have a little discipline if you're gambling, especially college basketball. There's college basketball every single day. Okay.
Yep.
You're going to be okay if you don't bet it.
Pace yourself.
It's okay. Right. That being said, I have had a total of, 601 games that I've picked. I am 332, 262, and 7. and that's about a
There you go.
56% win percentage. It was as high as 58%. I've had a rough the last several days, man.
Rough March already. Got a rough March.
March has
already.
not been friendly, I gotta say. Yeah, I went on a little bit of a losing streak, and let's see, February I was 179 and 126, so February was good. Started out rough, but it ended March. Starting March, not great. But anyways, we're here to talk about these conference tournaments. So North Alabama played tonight. They're the ones, they have a 20% chance, and they beat, who did they beat tonight? Austin P by 26 points. So a North Alabama Lipscomb final is almost certain to happen. Another good team I like from here is Queens. I just don't think that they're going to have enough to match up. Queens beat looks like Florida Gulf Coast maybe tonight. Yeah, but if Lipscomb makes a tournament, Kev, or North Alabama makes a tournament here, most certainly going to be a really high seed coming from these small conferences. Any thoughts?
Yeah,
Are they getting a win?
Again, when you take Lipscomb, if you got a guard who can get buckets, and obviously you just said they got two other guys that are guard play in these tournaments, man. If you've got it, it goes a long way. Also, if you can rebound. So North Alabama has the top two rebounders in the conference. So they're crashing the boards, so either one of them teams probably play different ways, can win different ways, but guard play in the tournaments is usually a pretty good bet.
I agree. Now we got several tournaments firing up tomorrow. Let's see. They're starting at 6 p.m. So the games are starting to start a little bit earlier. I'm starting to feel good about this. March, the Sun Belt Championship kicking off tomorrow with Coastal and Southern Miss. Two teams that will not be talked about ever again on this show because they're both 10 and 21. But the Sun Belt kicking off tomorrow. Arkansas State with a 35% chance to win. Then you got three teams below them: Troy at 19%, South Alabama at 19%, and JMU at 17%. Now, Arkansas State is a wagon. But
all four of them teams have 20 wins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, so what do you do with a division like the Sun Belt when you're having so many teams find success? I mean, they could each end up with 22 wins. And not making the tournament, right?
Yeah. I might be in the minority in this, but I would rather see a South Alabama or a whoever, JMU, almost rather see them than like a shit Texas team that play. Yeah. Granted, I understand they play in the SEC, the greatest conference going right now. Like, I understand that Texas might be the better team. I don't disagree with that, but man, sometimes I would just rather see a JMU or a team like that get in with a shot. I get it. You don't want to put a bunch of them teams in. I understand that, but you
can't make it the NIT.
Yeah. So
I enjoy watching those teams get up in the tournament and playing some of these,
Yep.
I don't want to call them all blue chips. But yeah, the bigger schools, man. Basketball is still like very top heavy. The NIL didn't really do much for basketball like it did for football, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you still got. I mean, the big teams, the big blue bloods were already getting the top recruits. Now they're just getting them and they're paying them. Like, you're not gonna. You haven't seen like, a Shedeur Sanders like go to Jackson State. Like, you get a little bit of that in the college. Just not that much. Maybe that'll change. Some of these smaller schools maybe get some more NIL collective as they go on. Maybe, because you would think it would maybe work because of the one and dones. I mean, if you live, let's say you're a South Carolina local kid and, you're just going to play 1 year of college, maybe you go to a smaller local school that you're just going for 1 year. What do you care if they're going to pay you?
Yeah.
If you got a school that's going to pay you, I could see it happening, but it hasn't really happened yet.
Yeah. A couple other teams to note in this league that I like: Marshall and App State. Those first four, South Alabama, JMU, Arkansas State, Troy, they're all 13-5 in conference. Arkansas State has the most wins overall at 22. South Alabama at 21, JMU, Troy both at 20. This should be a fun tournament to watch. The first couple games are going to be
bad.
But follow me on X, _Neffy. I will be sniffing out some plays.
Even if you don't think you care about the Sun Belt Conference or the Southland Conference, you might care about it once you go to fill your bracket out in the NCAA tournament. So
exactly. Pay attention.
Yeah.
It's March, man. This is like the NFL playoffs starting. Like, you got to prep. This is now. You got to start paying attention. Who are these teams? How did they do in their tournament? So when you're filling out your bracket, you're not just going, they could never beat so-and-so. Yeah, they could, dude.
Little knowledge.
Goes a long way. We also got, let's see who else is starting tomorrow. The Patriot League. Bucknell, the 37% chance to win the Patriot League. Beneath them, they got American at 22% and Colgate at 17%. Kev, any thoughts?
Right now American actually leads that conference. They're 19-12. Again though, looking at Bucknell, Noah Williamson, Patriot Player of the Year. So he's top player in the conference. They got the Coach of the Year at Bucknell. So again, every year some player shows out in the NCAA tournament from these smaller schools. You know what I mean? Go on a scoring bender, score 25, 30 points in the first couple games or something. So give me players of the year, guys are leading the league in scoring, leading the conference in scoring, that kind of thing. Bucknell's got that. I'm assuming that's why they've got a higher percent chance than American to kind of win that tournament.
Yeah, so American is sitting at I actually got the odds up here now. So American's sitting at plus 250. Bucknell is even. Ooh, that's tempting, isn't it? Shouldn't have pulled that up. Plus 250, and a team is leading the conference. How's the head-to-head American and Bucknell looking? Let's see.
Let's see what we got here.
Wow, Bucknell smoked them 71-49, and they also lost. So they split the home and home. So each team won their home game. They beat them by 10, and then they lost by, that's an ugly number.
Bucknell's on a 6-game winning streak.
Oh, American is 2-2 their last 4. Oh, yeah. There's a reason that Bucknell is even money.
Yep.
Tread lightly. From there, Kev, we also got the Horizon League. Milwaukee, a 25% chance to win. Purdue Fort Wayne, IPFW, a 22% chance to win. Cleveland State, 15% chance to win. And Bob Morris, 15% chance to win. Anything noteworthy here, Kev?
Purdue, Fort Wayne, Jalen Jackson got guard for them, 19.2 points a game. Weird thing is he didn't play in the last game. I don't know if he was hurt or what the reason was, but he did not play in their last game.
That's interesting.
I did watch about half of Milwaukee game the other day randomly, the other night. They're kind of a well-rounded, anybody can, they have a bunch of guys that'll get in low scoring double digits, more of a team game. But again,
so this is the first one that we've covered here where I would actually bet because, Milwaukee 25% chance and Bob Morris 15% chance to win. Well, Robert Morris is actually a plus 240 favorite to win, and Milwaukee's a plus 250 favorite to win. Bet those two teams, give yourself better odds here, and you're going to come out on top there, either 40 cents or 50 cents, whatever it might be. I would put a little on Milwaukee and Robert Morris, those two. IPFW plus 650. It's interesting with a 22% chance to win. I mean, that. I'm either going with that. Yeah, I'm either going with that, or I'm going to bet the Milwaukee Bob Morris and just hope that one of them wins and he makes some money there. So after that, Kev, I don't think any of these teams that we've talked about so far can really do much. Bucknell could maybe win a game depending on who they would play if they were to win this tournament, but I don't know. I don't love any of these teams. Arkansas State, maybe. Again, it's going to depend on matchups, of course, but these teams, I just don't think they have enough firepower to do anything against these bigger teams. Let's talk a little Summit League. We were talking about this before we went on air here. South Dakota State with a 33% chance to win. The St. Thomas Tommies, a 24% chance to win. And North Dakota State, a 22% chance to win. Kev, interesting here. Tell us about the St. Thomas Tommies.
Yeah, so like you said, 24% chance to win, but even if they win the Summit League conference tournament, they are not eligible for the NCAA tournament because they're only in their fourth year as a D1 school. So I think they're just ineligible, I think, until next year because of that. So even if they were to win, they cannot play in the tournament, which kind of sucks for them. You know what I mean? Moving into D1 and you actually make a run and, can't play. But so that's kind of a note on the St. Thomas. So basically we talked about whoever they would play in the championship game. If they made it to the championship game, the losing team that would lost to them would play in the NCAA tournament. So
So if the St. Thomas Tommies make the final, whoever they're playing gets the automatic bid, whether they win or lose. It doesn't matter because they have not been in the playing D1 for enough time. I actually kind of like South Dakota State here. Been watching them the last couple weeks. Had a couple wagers on them. Playing really well. Let's see what their odds are.
That's weird. It's like they're fifth in the conference right now.
I got them at
13.
Oh, you're looking at overalls. Go to their conference win percentage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at South Dakota, not South Dakota State. You're right. South Dakota State third. Yep. That's I was looking at
you're right.
South Dakota.
Dude, so there's a North Dakota, South Dakota, North Dakota State,
South Dakota State.
Yeah, this gets fun. When you're gambling and you're on the book, make sure you haven't had a few too many sodas. Betting on, oh my God.
On the end of that.
So we got Bon was in the chat earlier, Fat Stafford. We're at a little guys weekend, and Bon's like, dude, I got the lock, dude. It's New Mexico State. New Mexico State. We got the game on. And they're like, yeah, we're cheering. And all of a sudden he's like, I bet New Mexico. Flip that game on. They're down by like 30 because they suck that year, dude. I'm just like, dude.
Don't forget that state at the end.
Don't
ST.
forget the state. I got a little trivia question here for the Summit League. Without looking at the sheet right now, who is Kansas City's mascot?
Is that okay? Is that originally UMKC?
That's UMKC.
I should know this. A shout out to Alter Grounds. He's a UMKC alum.
Hey,
played some soccer there. Oh my gosh!
Bon coming in the chat with Bon coming in at the fake news like it never happened. I was there. I lost money with you, brother.
UMKC. I don't know.
The Roos, dude. The Kangaroos. UMKC Roos. That's got to be the most interesting mascot in all of sports, man.
Should have known that.
Yeah, you should have known that one, Kev. So Omaha, who are the odds here? Sorry. North Dakota State, St. Thomas, and South Dakota State are all plus 250. Man, Omaha plus 450. I think I'm going with both North and South Dakota State in the championship game. Play each other. Both are plus 250. Bet them both. You will win some money there. That's where I would place my hard-earned shekels. Let's see where we're going next. We just hit the Summit. How about the NEC, the NEC? Central Connecticut with a 68% chance to win. And LIU, shout out if anyone is a true college basketball fan. I know that you listen to the College Basketball Experience with Colby Dant. Colby and Moneyline Mac, those dudes are hysterical. I usually don't shout out other shows like this, Kev. These dudes are college basketball fanatics. Colby has been pumping the Long Island Sharks. That's his team, dude. He's got a whole fucking shtick. I love it, dude. LIU with a 13% chance to win. And funny story here, Long Island, dude. So I played junior hockey in high school. We made it all the way to nationals, and I had one university reach out to me and offer me a little. They were D2 at the time, so offered me a spot to play. No scholarship or anything like that, but it was Long Island, baby. I could have been a Shark. Thank God.
Yeah,
do that.
That conference, Central Connecticut State's won 12 straight. LIU's won 6 straight.
Central Connecticut is actually I think they're actually a legit team. Now this conference is down, I would say. A team like Long Island University being 12-4 in conference, 16-15 overall. It's kind of telling to where they are. Central Connecticut is 23-6, and they're 14-2 in conference. That tells you a little bit more, paints a little bit better picture, right? I like this Central Connecticut team, not only to win, but I think they can make a little bit of noise in the tournament. They beat Holy Cross earlier this year. Holy Cross is probably going to win their conference. Let's see. They beat St. Joseph's. They're not going to play any ranked teams. They beat UMass. Yeah, man. I mean, that doesn't really mean much to anybody, but this Central Connecticut team, they could ball. Their record, I think, is indicative to where they're at, man. I like them. Any thoughts?
No, Central Connecticut, they're probably a heavy favorite for a reason in this one.
Yeah, let me see if I could find that line. I'm not seeing the line for this tournament yet. Why don't they put all the lines out? I wonder if maybe one of these. No,
I don't.
They wouldn't be playing tonight. I don't know. Maybe they are.
No, tournament. Their tournament doesn't start till the 5th. So
yeah, they're playing Lemoyne.
They could have a regular season game, I guess, if they got one more left. I don't know if they do or not.
No, I don't think they.
No.
Oh, maybe they. No, the tournament starts in the 5th, and they play Lemoyne.
No,
I don't know, dude. Not gonna dive into it too much, because it doesn't really matter that much. Big South being played in Johnson City, Tennessee, and we just talked about them a little while ago. But High Point, 67% chance to win this. The next highest, Kev, is Winthrop at 9%, UNC Asheville at 8%. High Point's been pretty good this year. Any thoughts on the Big South?
Yeah, High Point, 26 wins, 11 game winning streak. One thing, UNC Asheville's got Jordan Marsh averaging 18.9 a game, second in the conference in scoring. But High Point is definitely top of the conference as far as that goes.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. 26-5 overall, 14-2 in conference. Going to be a big betting favorite, I'm sure. again.
A local team in the Big South. Charleston Southern is a Big South team.
Yeah, they're plus
Not too
8,000
hot.
to win.
Not too hot of a year. 10-21.
I'll tell you what, High Point's a minus 250. I don't lay minus 250 pretty much ever. This would be one where I would lay a minus 250, man. I think you're guaranteed.
Winthrop. You know what Winthrop is?
Plus 900. Yeah, it's like, oh, there's value there. So they just beat Winthrop by 22 points 4 games ago.
Yeah.
And they beat them by 22 points, home and away. What the fuck are the chances of that? Yeah, High Point, the last team they lost to was Longwood. At Longwood, they lost by 2 points. They lost at UNC Asheville by 4 points. Dude, there was 200 points scored in that game, which is crazy. They lost to Norfolk State by 3 points. UNC Greensboro by 4. Missouri State by 10 was their biggest loss this year. It was 10 points. High Point's a good team, man, and they're rounded into form. This is another team that I could see High Point. We actually have who's bracket? Joe Lunardi's bracket from 228. It's a couple days old right now, but who does he have High Point playing? He's got this bracket seated. Okay, so they would draw Michigan in his bracket. Now everything's changed, but that's if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm not feeling great about that.
What's that seed? What's the seed combo on that one?
13-4.
No, Michigan's overrated anyway.
Yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna get into that. We got bubble teams to finish the show today. All right, so we got Big South, we got A-Sun, we got the Horizon. We talked about the NEC. How about the OVC? Southeast Missouri State, Cav, with a 34% chance to win. Little Rock with a 24% chance to win. And SIU Edwardsville, 22% chance to win. Southeast Missouri
alumni. SIU
really?
Edwardsville. Yeah.
Is that right? They're plus 250 to win, Kev. Southeast Missouri is plus 155. And then you got Little Rock and Tennessee State at plus 450. I think SIU Edwardsville plus 250 is worth a little bit. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't have many thoughts on it. I know Southeast Missouri State is
that's the correct answer, by the way.
Has been I do know Southeast Missouri State has been probably the most consistent out of the teams at the top of this conference lately. So I think I would roll with them. SIU Edwardsville, I don't think has been in Division I program for that long. Their women's side I know has not, but yeah, give me Southeast Missouri State. Let's roll.
Yep, they're 15-5 in conference play. SIU Edwardsville is 13-7. Both teams are 20-11 entering the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. I'm taking Edwardsville plus 250. A little bit of a flyer there, but I like it, man. Why not? Their season series. Wow, they played Indiana this year. They played Illinois. They played Indiana State. They really let it all out there. Good for them, dude. So they lost to Southeast Missouri twice, by 15 and by 16. So I think so let's Southeast Missouri plus 155. Let's change our bet, dude. We're going back. Southeast Missouri plus 155. That is the bet.
I like that bet.
Yeah, I do too. I like that a lot. Yeah, keep it moving. That was Ohio Valley. Where else are we? I'm trying to do this in order of days.
Missouri.
I know. This is terrible podcasting. Let's just go. Yeah, you were saying that the Missouri Valley, the MVC, getting played in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, here's a team,
STO
conference, and a team that people are talking about. Drake with a 35% chance to win. Bradley at 23%. I like Bradley. And Northern Iowa at 18% chance to win. Let's see if my book has the lines for Drake.
Shout out to buddy Chris back home used to get us tickets to the Missouri Valley every year. My brother-in-law, he
Hell
went to
yeah.
SAU Carbondale. He still goes every year. Some good times going to that tournament.
I
I
love
was
it.
back Murray State, Southern Illinois. We're rolling Illinois
And
State.
the racer, you talking like 2004,
Yep.
2005, 2003. The Murray State Racers, man.
Yep.
Wasn't it just last year that Indiana State was in the tournament?
Yeah, they had the guy, big dude with the glasses, white
Yeah,
guy.
right.
He transferred to St. Louis University, so he's on him and the coach. The coach left, went to St. Louis U.
shit.
That's where he went.
The Billikens.
Yep.
So Drake is 27-3. Bradley is 24-7. Drake is 17-3 in conference. Bradley at 15-5. I like the Bradley team. It's hard to argue with what Drake has done this year. Drake's last loss came to Bradley at home by 2 points. They also beat Bradley at Bradley by 7 points. I like Bradley. Now, Drake played a down Miami team. They beat Vanderbilt, which I think is something to say. They beat K-State. Yep. They've played some people now. Granted, they always do that earlier in the season. Bradley, on the other hand, let's see what Bradley has done. They played Washington State and they lost to them.
Not good. Washington State's not.
No, they don't have any big meaningful wins, really. I mean, UTSA, Texas State, Middle Tennessee, these are all out of conference. And San Francisco that's a nice win. Again, though, that's not really moving the needle for everyone. They need to win to get in. And even if they do, I don't know. I think Drake can maybe make a little bit more noise than Bradley can. I just hope they play each other in the championship game, to be honest with you.
They probably will, unless Northern Iowa comes up a little upset. They've been known to do over the years. So
they absolutely have. How about the WCC, Kev? I mean, this is a pretty obvious one. Gonzaga, the 63% chance to win. St. Mary's, they've been feisty this year with a 27% chance to win. Any thoughts? Are both these teams making the tournament? How about that?
I think so. So didn't Gonzaga just beat San Francisco yesterday or the day before? They probably knocked San Francisco out of that conversation.
Yeah.
I think St. Mary's 27 wins right now. Gonzaga's got 23. I think them two are in. That's probably it out of this conference. Unless San Francisco can go on a run here in their conference tournament, it's going to probably take them winning it all, though, for them to get in my opinion.
Exactly. I mean, we talk about, Bradley beating San Francisco, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? San Francisco is 23-8, dude. I mean, they're 13-5 in this West Coast conference here. Gonzaga 23-8, 14-4. I think St. Mary's and Gonzaga should probably get into the tournament. Wow, St. Mary's is 17-1 in conference play, dude. 27-4 overall. That's good for them, dude. I love to see that. I love to see a powerhouse that, it's always been Gonzaga out of here, dude. But I love to see the St. Mary's, the Gales, dude. Ranked 21 right now. I hope they take this home. I hope they do. And I actually have odds for this one. This is terrible.
I was looking at
Gonzaga minus 125, St. Mary's plus 135. Any thoughts on that?
Say that again.
I'm sorry?
We'll say that again. What were the odds?
Gonzaga minus 125, St. Mary's plus 135. I
think I just take St. Mary's because it's plus money, but
plus money.
Yeah. I was looking at the bracketology. They've got Gonzaga as a 9 seed and St. Mary's as a 6 seed right now. This is a little dated, but
it is a little, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish they updated this after Saturday, dude. I mean, Saturday was huge. How do they not update this? But
Well, the AP rankings got updated yesterday. You would think you would at least fall in line with that.
well, it says they update this every single day, dude. But it's like, okay,
No.
someone's sleeping. Someone's sleeping at the wheel over here. Couple more to get through, and it is getting through it because this is boring. But it must be talked about because these teams are going to play in the tournament, Kevin. What are we doing? We're preparing for the bracket. Okay. The CAA, NC Wilmington, a 27% chance to win. Towson, 19% chance to win. And then, hey, our guys, Charleston, 18% chance to win. Kev, can you tell me where Towson is located?
No, I cannot.
Maryland.
Not even. I wouldn't even been in the right region. Yeah.
Yep. I have no idea how they got good at basketball or why, but here we are. Could say that for a lot of these teams. Towson, 21-10 overall, 16-2 in conference play. And then you got UNC Wilmington, 24-7 overall, 14-4 in conference. And then we talked about Charleston. They're 23-8, 13-5 in conference. I think it's safe to roll with Towson, dude. I like Towson here, unless there's something that I'm missing. You have any thoughts on these?
No, one thing I did when I was doing a little research, I thought was interesting. KenPom has this. I don't know how they don't even ask me how they come up with this, but they've got this like lucky rating, like the luckiest teams based off of whatever. So College of Charleston and Montana out of the Big Sky were the top two luckiest teams according to KenPom rankings, which I thought was just kind of a weird
Sounds
thing.
about right.
So I don't think I want to roll with one of the top lucky teams is probably not one I'm going to want to roll with in conference play when the tournaments come around.
Nope. Hard pass. Go with Towson. Quick pass over on that one because I don't think any of those teams are making any noise. How about the Southland Conference? McNeese with an 80% chance to win to the Southland Conference. Nichols at 6%, Lamar at 5%. I don't think there's much to talk about as far as who's going to win it. McNeese is 25-6 this year. They're 19-1 overall. They lost to Alabama by 8 points. That's a win for that school, if you ask me.
Yep.
Let's see. They beat North Texas, which I think is a nice little win. They lost to Mississippi State. They lost to Liberty by 4 points. I know Liberty's a popular team this year. Yeah, I mean, they've been smashing teams. The last time they lost was against Nichols, actually, and that was 2, 4, 6, 8, like 10 games ago.
They got an 8-9 game winning streak, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they're rolling, man. They played the biblical study this year. They beat them 111-57. Yeah. No need to talk about McNeese anymore. And then how about, let's round it out. Big Sky, Northern Colorado, 30% chance to win. Montana, 18% chance to win. And Montana State, 14% chance to win. I see you got a little note there next to Montana.
Yeah, that was that stat that them and College of Charleston, top two luckiest teams for KenPom rankings. So
what does that actually?
Again, I don't know what goes into that ranking or how he comes up with that. They come up with that, but
let's see here. Northern Colorado.
Weird thing about this,
yeah.
You got Montana State is a 14% chance. Not too far behind Montana, but man, Montana State is like 6th in the conference.
Yeah,
or 13-17. It's a little, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
A little bizarre. I think again. So they actually beat North Arizona, this year. Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't beat Northern Colorado though. Then, yeah, you gotta get your Norths in order here.
Let's
I
roll
think
with Let's roll with North Colorado out of the Big Sky.
Yeah, just take them. Don't worry about it. They're actually playing right now, but I don't think it's the tournament right now. No, it's not. Yeah, so a few of these we're not going to have odds on because they're still playing. They're still finishing up, but I don't think you have much to really think about here. Take Northern Colorado. The teams that could do something in the tournament. We're talking about High Point. We're talking about Drake or Bradley. We're talking about Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Did we talk about the Southern Conference? We didn't. This is the last one, and this is actually, hey, I was up there a year or two ago when they were playing this in Asheville, North Carolina. I didn't even realize what was going on. But the Southern Conference is playing their championship, Asheville, North Carolina. Samford with a 26% chance to win. Chattanooga with a 19%. UNC Greensboro 17. Wofford 13. Furman 12. ETSU 11. This one is the most wide open of all of them. The Southern Conference. Sanford being the favorite. Do you have any thoughts on Sanford if they were to move on?
No, the only real notes I had is East Tennessee State's got Kamari Peterson leading the conference in scoring, 19.3 points per game. Man, this is this could be a pretty wide open conference tournament, man. You got the top 5 teams all have 19 plus wins. Even Wofford, 16 and 15.
Yep.
Furman 23-8.
The Paladins.
Yeah. That's one of the more expensive schools in the Carolinas also.
Yeah. Yep.
Tuition wise.
Yeah. Make sure the kids aren't going
this
to Furman.
is a tough conference. Yeah. This will be a good conference tournament to go to. This will be a nice, entertaining one to go sit down for a couple days straight.
Absolutely. We laid 14.5 points a couple nights ago. Furman versus the Citadel. Furman won by 43 points. They've won by more points than the Citadel scored. Shout out to us handicapping there. They played Kansas this year. They lost 86-51 back when Kansas was a 1 seed. All the way back.
Forever ago. Yeah. A lifetime ago.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Kev, round out. Let's round this out by, again, we're talking, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, Drake, Bradley, maybe Bucknell makes a little bit of noise in the tournament. Central Connecticut is also another team that I would look for depending on where they're seated. High Point. Other than that, the rest of these teams, I think, they're just gonna get smoked. If you don't have a big advantage to win your small conference, I don't think you're going to do much, especially if you're not battle tested and you're playing these weaker opponents.
Yeah, the only battle tested just historically, you look at Gonzaga and St. Mary's, both coming, depending on where they fall in the seeding in the NCAA tournament. Mark Few could have Gonzaga ready to roll. Maybe tournament comes around depending on their seeding. But yeah, these other ones are just going to be a Cinderella story that's going to pop up before you know it. If it does, that's going to be how it happens. So
I agree. All right, let's kick it over. Let's round out the show here. Let's talk about the updated bubble picture. So one that I've got pulled up because ESPN one wasn't updated. I do like all the information that Joe Lunardi puts out, but his website not being updated here was really frustrating for me because I wanted to talk about it today. But the Sports Illustrated one, I'm more aligned with anyways. So the last 4 buys, they got Georgia, Baylor, San Diego State, and Indiana. Now, mind you, going into Saturday, Texas was ahead of Georgia in everybody's pools and rankings. They played each other, didn't they?
Yeah, Georgia won.
They won. They didn't just win. They put it on. By 16. Okay. Georgia went ahead in Texas, put it on them by 16. Excuse me. So Texas on a 3-game losing streak right now. Losses to South Carolina, Arkansas, and then Georgia. Arkansas and Georgia, 2 bubble teams. They lost back-to-back. Texas is out, dude.
Arkansas just lost to South Carolina, and
But they have guys that didn't even play. Like their 2 best guys didn't even play.
they had 14 points at halftime, dude. That's
Yeah,
insane. I don't care if I played for them. 14 points at halftime? Jesus.
Hey,
I think Arkansas is out.
No. Disagree. Arkansas is in.
Unless Kyle Perry just gets them in.
Arkansas is in. I think they got more fight. They lost to South Carolina. South Carolina was a favorite in that game, and for a good reason. And I rode them -120 money line South Carolina. Shout out me. They Sports Illustrated. So okay, last 4 buys: Georgia, Baylor, San Diego State, Indiana. I'm fine with all 4 of those. Last 4 in, this is where it starts to get a little contentious. Ohio State, Oklahoma, Xavier, and Arkansas. Compare that with the first 4 out: North Carolina, Nebraska, Texas, Boise State. It's going to get contentious, Kev.
Yeah, so these SEC teams still have, so like Arkansas, look at their schedule. They still got Vandy and Mississippi State to finish the season off. So these SEC teams, they have got to play to the end of this regular season, or there are going to be some guys looking for a spot that ain't there.
Yep, and both Texas and Arkansas play Mississippi State to end their season. So, dude, how about the SEC this year? The SEC has been electric, absolutely electric, man.
It is probably, and it's, maybe recency bias, but the best ever in a single season it's insane. And the crazy part is it is so deep, it's top heavy, it's got everything. And with all that said, Auburn's clinched. That's how good Auburn is. Auburn is the number 1 team in the country, hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah,
they're running through a top the toughest conference ever.
Yep, they sure are. I bet them. Here, I'm pulling my futures up right now. I tweeted this out, but on January 30th, I put in a couple futures. Auburn to win it plus 425, Iowa State to win it plus 1,000, and Michigan State to win it at plus 2,200. 2 units on Auburn, a unit on Iowa State, a unit on Michigan State. Well, about 19 days later, Wisconsin started to do a little thing. So I took Wisconsin at 30-1 for a unit. And I also put a unit on Houston at plus 950. Now, these have since all flip-flopped a little bit. Auburn is much lower than 425. Houston's much lower than 950. But I think you can get Iowa State, Michigan State, and Wisconsin all at better numbers than maybe I got them at, which is the nature of the beast, right? You win some, you lose some when you place a future bet, especially in NCAA basketball. There was one here, and these 2 teams just played each other, but to win the Big Ten, I grabbed Wisconsin at 40-1. It was Michigan State, Michigan, and Wisconsin at the top there. Now, Michigan State and Wisconsin just played each other. Michigan State, I think, beat them by 7. Does that sound right?
Something like that, yeah.
8, 9. They beat them by 9 at Michigan State. So I think that'd be a great rematch if Wisconsin can make it happen. Wisconsin's got a lot of work to do, but go look at some of these resumes. I love this so much about college basketball. I mean, they played Holy Cross, Arizona. They played Pitt. You know what I mean? They played Marquette. They played Butler. Like, I love that they're out there playing all these other schools. Like, go out there and play
Yeah.
better teams.
You have to. If you don't, who was it? It seems like every year Syracuse would not have a tough enough out of conference schedule.
Yeah.
And there was always complaints. Either they got in when they shouldn't have, or Jim Boeheim would complain when they didn't get in. But there were stretches where they wouldn't play outside of New York for like a month. So teams have kind of figured it out. Like, you can have a significant amount of losses and still be fine if you're playing a tough schedule.
Yeah.
You got to.
So, big game coming up here between Maryland and Michigan. Maryland 13, Michigan 17 in the country. They're playing on Wednesday night. That'll be a good one. It's in Michigan. Couple games left in this season, but the bigger conferences we're going to cover on next Monday's episode of No One to Blame. We're going to get into the more juicier conferences. We had to talk about the small fish, the minnows today. We talked about some bubble teams. We talked about some teams to look out for in the tournament. Go back and listen to the beginning if you're just catching up now. I like Georgia to get in. I think Texas is out. And I think, several weeks ago, I was talking all this junk about Duke and they're too young, dude. They are on a fucking war path.
Okay, right now, who do you let's not talk. Who will your top 4 seeds be? There's about 6 teams that I think are in that group.
Okay. It's Auburn. It's Duke. Auburn 2.
That's the top 2 locks. Who's your next 2?
I think I put Houston up there.
Yep, me too.
And the reason being is, one, I got a future on them, but I've got a future on them because their experience and their defense, dude.
They get after it.
They got several dudes in their team that can score, and a couple from beyond the arc, like at will. Like I like that team a lot. I think you got to round it out. I hate to say it, but Florida.
So see, I got Tennessee as my 4th.
Okay.
They just beat Alabama.
We were on that one.
They knock Alabama out, in my opinion, on that win there. But it's between Florida and Tennessee. I think I like Tennessee.
What about Michigan State? Where do you put them? Because I think I'd put Michigan State above Florida and Tennessee.
No, I'd almost
Michigan State.
I almost think I'd have St. John's over Michigan State. To be honest with you, yeah.
No way.
I mean, Izzo in the tournament. I do love Izzo in the tournament, but
yeah. No, Tennessee. Okay, so Florida makes me a little nervous. Florida next year for me. Keep some of the guys Florida next year. They'll make a little bit of noise, but I just don't think they have the experience with this team in the tournament. Iowa State is still, kicking. They lost some luster, but they had a couple. They just smoked someone. Is it Kansas or someone? I don't know. How about some dark horses in the tournament, Kev? Who are some teams that are going to fall, 3 to 12 seed in that range? Where you're kind of like, okay.
I like Maryland. They got a big man named Derek Queen, freshman.
Yeah.
Dude, if it wasn't for Cooper Flagg and this guy would be the best player in the country. He's a stud.
Yeah. Got to talk about Johnny's. You got to talk about Johnny's, dude. Dude, everyone loves to see Rick Pitino doing well, right?
You know what's funny is everybody loves it until they don't, until his next scandal comes up. But hey, I like Rick Pitino, man. He's
I do too.
one of the best of all time, just coaching up. He's you go look at other coaches, Coach K, Roy Williams, all these, even Tom Izzo. Pitino has always done it without having the top recruits, except for Kentucky. Kentucky, he did have top recruits, but them Louisville teams, Iona, obviously, St. John's, like these are not that 5-star recruits coming out of high school. He's taken his guys he wants for his system, and he wins with them.
I agree wholeheartedly there. I love the Johnnies. I hope they make some noise, man, in the tournament. I like Texas Tech. I think that's kind of everyone's little darling. They've been shooting up. I like Clemson. Clemson did some damage in the tournament last year. I like Clemson. And who else? There was another team that I was just looking.
I kind of like Mizzou.
Wisconsin.
I kind of like Mizzou a little bit.
Yes. I think in all of the SEC, no one's talking about them at all.
I hate to say that because being from Illinois, we were Illini fans. But now Mizzou, they've got a well-rounded team. Any given night, they got different guys that can score. I kind of like Mizzou a little bit and make some noise depending on where they're seated at. Kentucky's got too many injuries. Their top players out for the year now. Jackson Robinson, he's out for the season. He's having surgery, so that kind of disrupts anything they kind of had rolling late in the year.
Yeah, it sucks. You got the usual suspects, Marquette. I like Marquette a lot. Bama, they're going to do a little something.
They blew that game Saturday.
I know. Let's round out the bracket talk this week. How about give me some frauds, Kev? I've got a couple frauds, man.
Like top 25 frauds.
In the tournament right now, fraudulent teams.
Arizona.
No.
Yeah.
Disagree.
When you've got your best player can go 2 for 15, and that's his Caleb Love is not that guy they thought they were getting from UNC when he transferred. If he wasn't on the team, they'd have a better shot. He shoots them out of ball games, which I hate to say, but
I was on Houston when they played each other.
I think they're a fraud. Memphis.
Memphis. That's at the top of my list.
I don't trust Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway's not. He's like a wannabe Deion Sanders on the basketball side, and he's not. He's got them. Relevant. People are talking about Memphis, which they haven't since he played there, so that's good for them. But I don't think they're a legit contender now.
No, definite fraud. I think Texas A&M is a fraud. Michigan.
Yeah, A&M I'm not on.
Nope. I don't even think Texas is going to make the tournament, but if they do, Texas is a fraud. Purdue, fraud.
I don't disagree with that.
Yep. They ain't doing shit. A team like Oklahoma. They're just in no man's land, dude. They ain't going forward. But if they're playing a higher seed, you kind of got to take them. Frustrating team. A team like UConn. Fraud. Give me New Mexico. If the New Mexico, I'm looking at Joe Lenardi's bracket from the 28th of February. He had New Mexico playing UConn. Give me New Mexico in a landslide victory.
It's a weird, frustrating thing. Like when you look at if you guys who get into the NBA side of it, Rutgers has 2 guys that are going to get drafted in the top 3, and they suck. How does that happen? 2 guys, they are going to go in the top 3 of the draft.
Really?
Ace Bailey is a wing, and then I can't think of the other guy's name. He's a guard. They are the 2nd and 3rd picks behind Cooper Flagg. And Rutgers sucks. I just don't get it. When you're playing basketball and you've only got 5 guys in the court and 2 of them are NBA guys,
how do you put that team together and how do you mess that up?
Illinois is the
Rutgers
same way.
Basketball.
I don't know. That might be it. Illinois is kind of the same way. Illinois got the foreign guy who's a top 8 pick. They're not in the top 25 right now. So.
Yeah, I think Illinois is different. I think they're legit though. I think
Illinois can make some noise. They've got the talent. Yeah. They just haven't put it all. They don't put it together week to week.
I liked your call with Missouri. I love that call with Missouri as a sleeper. I like that a lot. I wish I would have put some money on Missouri. You could start betting on teams to make the Elite 8, Final 4, that type of thing, Sweet 16. So maybe we'll get involved in that a little bit, Kev, next week. Kev, closing thoughts, man. March Madness is here. I'm pumped for it. We got into the weeds of the small minnow conferences. Next Monday's episode of No One to Blame, we're going to be talking about the bigger conferences. Some of these other conferences will finish. We'll have some outcomes. Hopefully we get a little more NFL news. I like to see these pieces start falling into place. And make sure you follow me on X, do_Neffy. Follow Kevin at Kevin3E2. Check out our plays. I'm posting, probably way too many plays all the time. We talked about me picking 601 games so far this year. It's a lot of basketball, man. You got to have some action. It's March. Let's get involved. Kev, good show, man. Good to be seen. Everyone listening, we appreciate you guys. Everyone watching, appreciate you guys. And looking forward to next Monday, dude. Let's get it.
Can't wait. No one to blame.
Peace.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy, Kevin, do. Neffy, Kevin, do.
Do it.
Kevin,
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it. Oh, fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.